Over the course of my life, I have played a lot of video games. It has been probably the most consistent hobby I've ever had throughout my life. I would say I started really playing video games like where I knew what I was doing and I actually had a goal in mind. I would say I probably started when I was about 3 on my DS, most likely. And since then, it's been a part of my life ever since, and I have played countless video games on countless different devices and whatnot. But today we are going to be going over my top 5 video games ever. I thought about doing like a top 10, but after the top 5, which is they're kind of shoe-ins, honestly. My 5 favorite games. It gets a little muddy for me. Just kind of figuring out what game goes in 6 and what game goes in 8, and they're so interchangeable, honestly. But my top 5 is set in stone, and it's going to be very hard for a lot of different games to kind of crack into this top 5. I would say the one that's most likely to crack in right now, spoiler alert, is Red Dead Redemption 2. The only reason it's not in my top 5 is that I have yet to beat it still, even though it's been out for a bajillion years at this point. I'm like on like the 4th to last mission on my PlayStation, and then I got it again on Steam once I got my gaming laptop, and I've yet to beat it on there. But once that's beaten, maybe I'll have to do a revisited top 5 list. But for right now, this is my top 5 list, and it is pretty set in stone. So I think we're just going to jump right into it. For this list, I actually do have the physical games. Let me see if I can show you, yeah, without spoiling any of the games. You can see I do actually have the physical discs. So it'll be kind of cool to show some physical media in this video, as well as kind of just explaining why they're my favorite games. But without further ado, we're going to go from 5 to 1, obviously. So let's get into number 5 here. We have a game I haven't actually played in a very, very long time. And it's kind of sad because I keep thinking about getting it again on my on Steam. But I read a lot of reviews saying that the servers are very dangerous to play on, and a lot of the time they are uh, filled with people who can hack you and your IP address and all this shit. So it just seems like too big of a gamble. But it's a gamble for the stretch of how much I love this game. It's a gamble I'm almost willing to take. And that is going to be Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now, if you guys know whether or not they fixed the servers, because I know they were doing work on it for Black Ops 1 and 2. If they fixed the servers on 3, please let me know down in the comments section down below. Of course, do my research as well. Because I want to play this fucking game again, because it is just so great. I love this game. This is the epitome of multiplayer shooter for me. I think the way they did this game, they included, you can kind of see, they included the futuristic style. And I think Call of Duty, it's very hit or miss when they try to include futuristic style. Black Ops 3 was one of those games that was absolutely not cheesy at all. I never beat the campaign, if I'm being completely honest, but I did get a good way through it. And I remember like at the beginning where you're getting your arms ripped off and shit. That was pretty traumatizing for me as a child. But I absolutely would buy this game if it's on super sale on Steam just to play that campaign, and even just to play against bots, which was I probably have like 300 hours on this game, and I'd say a majority of them were me at the ripe old age of like 11 maybe, playing against bots. So that's a lot of the memories I have on this game. But I remember guns like the Angus. I remember guns like I remember all the sniping in this game. The sniping in this game was so pure. Quick scoping was at an all-time high. Trick shots were at an all-time high with the jetpack and the wall running. The map design, I mean, the Nuketown on Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Then this is my favorite Nuketown of all time, and it's not even close. The futuristic with the Easter eggs with the mannequin heads. This was also when I was big into watching YouTubers like Fearless, and this is Fearless before his Fortnite era. This is Fearless peak Black Ops 3 era, and I still go back and watch those videos all the time. The camos were fantastic. Zombies was a lot of fun in this game for me as well. But yeah, I really need to go and beat this campaign. So I'll probably end up getting this game again on my PC just for the campaign at the very least, because they go on super sale all the time. They end up being $3 at any given time. So I'll almost certainly pay $3 for the campaign and maybe even take the risk on multiplayer. But just such an incredible game. You can see the inside there. Such an incredible game. Such a good like this is peak Call of Duty for me. You know, a lot of people loved Black Ops 1 and 2. I actually have never played those games. I know, shocker, but I have played Black Ops 3 and I absolutely adore this game. It's in my opinion, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's peak Call of Duty and peak shooter in general. You know, I'll never find a futuristic shooter like this one. They've tried to make them split gate, X Defiant in some stretches. Even like the newer Black Opses and whatever they're trying to do with Modern Warfare 4, it'll never live up to this, and that's a sad thought. But amazing game, number 5 on my list for sure. Number 4, we have a game that I've spent so much time on, and a game that is almost exclusively built on memories, and is a game I still pretty consistently play today. Although I'm not very good at it from how many hours I have in it, it's of course going to be Rocket League. Rocket League, this is the collector's edition as well. This is back before Rocket League was free, when Rocket League was still Psyonix, and when Rocket League was still $20 or something. But back when you used to get stuff like all these cars, you got them for free and everything, the starter cars, if you will, Dominus, whatever. But this right here is the epitome of team game to me, if that makes sense. Like a game where, you got comms and everything. Like just the idea of playing a sports game. It's sort of like, FIFA with pro clubs, right? But it being cars and 100% physics based, and it actually requiring like knowledge on angles, and it's more than just pressing circle and aiming at part of a net. You have to figure out the shot angle. The learning curve is so massive, but once you start to get it, it's so satisfying. Like being good at Rocket League or winning games in Rocket League is the most satisfying feeling you can have in gaming, in my opinion. I think there's nothing more satisfying than coming back from 3-0 down, winning a game in overtime with your best friend. This is the epitome of that right here. I think it's such a cool game also because of the community. A lot of great Rocket League YouTubers came out of, the scene is just, you had guys like Sunless Khan, Musty, obviously, who still uploads. You had guys like John Sandman, also more problematic characters like Neat Mike. But, apart from him, a lot of the Rocket League community is actually really good, although obviously John Sandman interacts with Neat Mike, so whatever's going on there. But Sunless Khan's a dog. Anyway, enough about the community. Rocket League, I think it is the game you play like whenever I'm in the mood for like to make a play, if that makes sense. Like whenever I'm in the mood to like whenever I'm feeling like I want to be in a game, like I want to be just one character, I want to play like one role. I'm not really explaining this well, but like when I want to be an athlete in a video game, so to speak. I know how it sounds corny. I play Rocket League though, because it's 100% skill based. There's no shenanigans. There's no scripting like in FIFA. It is 100% skill. Like it is a skill issue if you cannot win games, and I love that about it. I love a game that's 100% skill. There's no shenanigans. There's no pay to win. It's just like it's the perfect competitive game in my eyes. And I think it's the perfect sports game in my eyes in that sense as well. I really wish there was like a soccer game that was 100% physics based like that you could play, like Rematch was a cool idea, but $30, and also it is cheesable. This game, there's no like cheese goal, there's no like glitch that'll automatically score you a goal. Everything's savable, and you can only pull off the crazy talented stuff if you're crazy talented, and that is absolutely amazing about this game. I love it. This collector's edition also came with some artwork, which I'll throw a picture up now. It's on my wall. Just such a good game. Every era of my life from middle school to now has been me playing with different friends. You know, and I think just the memories I've made with Rocket League, it'll always be up there for me as one of my favorite games of all time. Now, the next one is going to be a little bit controversial just because it's a sports game. But as much as I don't love to admit this because people will consider you to be not a real gamer, which honestly, I'm not going to lie, like I don't care about what makes you a real gamer, your gamer cred. That shit's kind of dumb to me. But the most played genre for me is 100% sports simulation, and it's not even close. I've played I think I've at least touched every FIFA since FIFA 11. I think I've at least played a game, whether I owned it or not. I've owned various Maddens, various 2Ks, various the shows, and I've played all of them. And enjoyed all of my time on them, including the new games. I enjoy the new FIFA. I enjoy the new 2K. I enjoy the new Madden. Of course, there's things on it that piss me off, but that's just the way it is, especially because I'm not an online player. I mostly play franchise mode or career mode, or I just play now games and create storylines with bench players, or, the standard stuff you do on sports games. But my love for sports games all stems from this game I'm about to show you right now, and that is NHL 14. NHLs are, well, I should say were. NHLs were my favorite sports game for the longest time. I loved NHL games. They were so much fun to play, and they really did simulate hockey pretty well for what we had at the time in 2014. Now, NHL games are absolutely cooked. The X Factors and shit. NHL, which sucks because hockey's my favorite sport. NHL is one of the only games I don't even consider buying anymore. The X Factors are disgusting. The LT cheese is disgusting. The fucking glitch deeks and shit, like the polar opposite of Rocket League. Just glitch deeks, glitch goals, cheesing the system to score goals. No actual hockey knowledge is required to be good at NHL, and it's very unfortunate. But back in the day, NHL 14 was and still is the pinnacle of NHL for me. Not only did this have the live the life mode, which is just so much fun with the interviews and everything, but the gameplay is just so smooth. The deeks were better. You could celebrate however the hell you wanted. The hit system was a lot better. You don't have to do that weird like back and forth thing. You just kind of held up and you make these huge hits. It's a lot arcadier. I'll say that in some aspects, but in some ways, I'd say this is more realistic too. Because the newer games with truculence and everything, like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, so I think this was fully actually physics based again on the hit. You can see at the top here, the collision physics were cutting edge and true to life collisions. So if you had like Johnny Gaudreau, rest in peace. But Johnny Gaudreau in this game, he's going to hit Dustin Bufflin. He's not getting that hit done, but other way around, and just like Johnny Gaudreau is going to get obliterated. So, I think this was, and also there is of course nostalgia to that. The lineups, Martin Brodeur, one of my favorite goalies on the cover. That's cool. Guys like Johnny Gaudreau still being in their prime, who are unfortunately gone now, which is still so fucking sad. Still in this game. Nicholas Backstrom still in this game. Mike Green is on the fucking back cover of this game. Wayne Simmons, another fucking dog. And it was just everything was just so right. I love this game so much. I got an emulator of it on my PC that I still play so much of. I'm in the middle of an entire CHL season on that game, Like I'm playing a full career, all 82 games. Like I love this game. I play it on the hardest difficulty and I still am pretty solid at it because of how many hours and just sheer time I've spent in NHL 14 in my life. This, I think, was also the first sports game I ever really played consistently as a kid. I was probably, 2006 is when I was born, so I was 8 when this game came out, 7 or 8. So from 8, 9, 10, 11, but especially 8, 9, 10, I played so much of this game, and I really poured so much time into it. And I think I don't think it's ever going to get better than this, unfortunately. It won Sports Game of the Year, which I don't think an NHL game has done since. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, even still, this is one of the most deserving Sports Games of the Year titles I've ever seen in my life, and the nostalgia of the players, the nostalgia of me playing it, just everything about this game is perfect in my eyes, and it will always be my number one for sports games, and it will probably always be in my top five as well, just because of how influential it is and how much I love it. So, yeah, NHL 14, great game, amazing experience, lots of memories once again, and easily number three on my list. Number two, we finally have a game that I think will objectively be in a lot of people's top fives. This game, it's not, it's not niche. It's not a surprise that this is on anybody's top five. When you hear somebody say this is in their top five games, you're never like, "Whoa, that's crazy." I'm building it up. You probably have a slight idea of what it is. It's going to be Grand Theft Auto 5. Um, I mean, what's to say about this game that hasn't been said already? I think I've beaten this game 9 times, 10 times by now. I've owned it on PS3, PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox 360. I think I own 2 copies of it on PS3. I definitely own 2 copies on PS4. I have so many copies of Grand Theft Auto 5. I've played it on every system I've ever owned, and every single time I replay the story, it doesn't get old. The selections in the story, the different heists you can set up, but also just if you picked the same story every single time, you'd be enthralled every single time. I truly believe that because I have been. I enjoy everything about this story. I enjoy everything about this game. I mean, even online, I'm not the biggest GTA 5 online player, but on this PS4 account, I got up to like a level 130. On my current account, I almost never play. But the penthouse and stuff, like just so many memories with my friends. You can see the disc is gone because I think it's actually in my PS5 right now. Although I'm not 100% sure about that, but disc isn't there. But even in the back, yeah, the Vinewood, the map design. I mean, here's the map right here, but the map design of this game, I don't even know how many times loaded up GTA 5 for the sole reason of driving around in this game. Um, the cars, the actual driving itself, it's one of the best driving games I've ever played, despite it not being a racing game. GTA 5 races have been some of the most fun I've ever had racing ever. And it's some of the most realistic racing I've ever done ever as well. And it's not even the forefront of the game. The sheer possibilities of GTA 5, the entire 5M community from GTA 5, the YouTubers, just Rockstar, it really just feels like they can do no wrong sometimes. And this is just one of those perfect examples. Also, the fact they give you a map of Los Santos and pretty much the entirety of San Andreas is such a cool touch. And actually, I'm moving to my apartment in a couple days, and the map from GTA 5 is going to be over my desk. Because this game just means so much to me. I've spent easily over 2,000 hours across all platforms. I don't know. I don't have the exact denotion, but I know on PS4 it's over 1,000. On my computer, it's only at about 50-ish because I got my computer last year, but I beat it once on my computer already. I'm in the process of beating it again. PS3, I have to have at least 1,000 hours on. I mean, just a fantastic game with so many possibilities, so many of your own storylines you can make. Like for example, when Michael's spoiler alert, if you haven't somehow beaten the story, I'm about to spoil something. When Michael's family leaves him because he's like going down wrong paths and everything, and just the whole situation with Jimmy causing the family to leave. I often do my Scientology side missions then because it feels like you can make Michael kind of lose his mind. And just having the flexibility to play different missions at different times to create own storylines in your own head and create entire like new saves of the game just to make your own storylines is something that really only GTA 5 I think has ever been able to encapsulate in my mind. excluding games like Red Dead and other Rockstar games. But that's what Rockstar does so perfectly, is it allows for the story that they created to coincide with stories you create in your own imagination, and you can just get lost creating your own subplots for all three of these different characters. And I think Trevor, Michael, and Franklin are three of the most well-written characters ever, and I think having them three be friends with all of Trevor and Michael's past alongside of the new blood of Franklin, who kind of has to come into this very dysfunctional relationship with a lot of these other characters with the feds and everything, and just having that culminate into such a mismatched trio that you just love their relationship that they gain together, and even giving you the option, if you really hate one of, Michael or Franklin, again, spoiler alert, you have the option to kill him at the end of the game. Like, they give you so much in this game, and they give you so many storylines that you can create. And like I said, you can mix them with your own storylines. And I think just that versatility and the amount of fun I've had playing GTA 5 is unmatched. And honestly, like, even just talking about this game makes me want to boot it up and beat it again. Like, anytime I think about GTA 5, I can easily go beat it up and play it, and I'll never be bored. So GTA 5, easy number 2, and could be number 1 if it wasn't for Saints Row the Third. Saints Row 3 is and always will be my number 1 favorite game. Saints Row 3 is the first game I ever played. My dad was playing it. I was watching him play it. He let me drive a car around, and then he left the room, and I had figured out how to get out of the car and spin in circles with double Uzis just shooting in a circle. And I was having the time of my life. And since that moment, Saints Row 3 hasn't left me. I think every single year since I've at least played Saints Row 3, like whether it was my dad letting me get a turn or me playing my own save or whatever it was, like a lot of my time spent on Saints Row 3, almost none of it is beating the story. I've only beat this game like 5 times probably, but 99% of the thousands of hours I have on Saints Row 3 were spent on my world with cheats that I would create stories and different original characters, basically, and I would make YouTube videos on Saints Row 3 filming my TV with those characters. I'll put a clip up right now of, like, I think I hit like a 360 no scope at one point, and I made a whole video trying to hit it. So I'll show you a clip of that right now.
360 no scope. 360 no scope. 360 no scope. 360 no scope. I did it. I did it. Yeah.
But that is just a slight look into the kind of things I would create with Saints Row 3. I would create like I said, all these different characters, side stories, YouTube videos, but also the other characters in the game, like Pierce and everything, just also pretty funnily written characters that I would call along to help fight with me. I think the chaos of this game, the vehicles in this game, like the crazy planes and the bikes that can fly with fucking shooting abilities and everything. And it's not a well-written game by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it's a very monotonous game. You kind of just do the same missions for a bunch of different people for different reasons. And again, the story's very boring and monotonous, but the cutscenes, of which there are very few, but the cutscenes are amazing. The writing's decent compared to newer Saints Row games, but the open world aspect and the creativity of the open world aspect and the ability to do whatever the hell you want and being invincible if you want, with infinite money, is all possible. And I think this game shines as a sandbox destruction game where you can just run around, get crazy, go on crazy rampages, blow shit up. This is essentially, in my opinion, the perfect sandbox game. And it is a game that means, like, it is the reason I've gotten into the games that I've gotten into, and it's my first ever true video gaming experience, and it will always hold such a special place in my heart. I don't think anything will ever beat this. It sort of stemmed some of my favorite color being purple as well. You know, purple being like, a lot of it comes from the Saints, but other part of it comes from like the Ravens and stuff like that. But like, it's just, this is the game that got me started, and it's the game that I will always revisit when I'm feeling nostalgic. I have it on my PC. But yeah, this is just, I mean, it's the game that has made me, like, it genuinely has made me who I am today as a gamer. And I think yeah, the customization aspect of it, the music. Oh my god, the music in this game. Let me tell you, this is how I discovered one of my favorite artists, Tyler the Creator, because Yonkers is in this game, and also some Odd Future uncut stuff that's not even on Spotify is on this game. And I remember in like 2011, 2012, being, you know, a little kid, and I would turn on the rap station and Yonkers would be playing, and I'd be like, holy shit, this is fucking incredible. And I would listen to it, and I had no idea who Tyler the Creator was. And then when I got internet, when I was in 2015, when I got internet, I rediscovered Tyler the Creator, and I was like, oh my god, I know this song from Saints Row. There's also Deftones music on here that I learned through Saints Row. I learned about Kanye through Saints Row. I learned about my love for rave and electronic music through Saints Row on the radio station K12 that's in this game. This just is so formative to so much of my entertainment and media in my life, and I'm forever grateful for that. Anyways, yeah, that's gonna sum up this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was just a fun little video I wanted to do, talking about my top 5 favorite games, because I came up with that idea last night. And I just kind of wanted to film it. And I also realized that all 5 of my favorite games I have on disc, so I thought it'd be cool to show you the discs. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did in fact enjoy, leave a like down below, subscribe, stay tuned for the next video, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.